They were just 65 feet from the exit, but instead, they wandered over 400 feet into a dark dead-end tunnel. Their air tanks were running dry. 4 highly experienced divers had to share every last breath. 2 of them never made it out. The heartbreaking part: they died just 75 feet from safety. So what went wrong? How did a team this skilled get lost and die inches from escape? This is a true story. The Kalimba Cave Tragedy. December 2024, Mexico. A group of 9 cave divers split into 2 teams. Team 1, 5 divers led by a pro guide, all of them highly experienced. Team 2, 4 divers including husband and wife, Jean and Bill Downing. They had over 30 years of experience, more than 300 cave dives. With them, Kent here 125 dives, Michael Nast 75 dives. They weren't amateurs. Their destination, Sac Actun, the longest underwater cave system in the world. Over 230 miles of submerged tunnels, all connected by natural sinkholes. Today's goal, Kalimba. One of the most complex and most dangerous sinkholes in Mexico. Kalimba has a narrow entrance, a steep descent, twisting side passages, and worst of all, no natural air pockets. If something goes wrong, there's nowhere to breathe. But inside, it's stunning. Massive stalactites, huge stone chambers, sunlight slices through the water glowing blue, like a gateway to heaven. Team 1 led the way. They followed Kalimba's main line, placing cookies as they went markers to show the path. Team 2 followed behind, tracing those same cookies all the way to the Bosch Chen line, then turned back early. Team 1 reached Bosch Chen. They surfaced for a few minutes, took a quick break, then started heading back. They finished the route and surfaced safely at Kalimba. Everyone assumed Team 2 had made it out earlier, that they'd already be waiting up top. But no one was there. Where was Team 2? Had they gotten out, or were they still down there? In the cave, deep underground, Team 2 was still swimming. Based on their plan, it should have taken less than 3 minutes to get back to the Kalimba line, about 65 feet, but they kept swimming and saw nothing. No familiar markers, no cookies. A cold chill ran through the group. They realized the truth. They were lost. Instead of heading back to Kalimba, they had drifted over 400 feet into the wrong tunnel. They were now at the end of the Paso line, nearly half a mile from their original exit. Then someone remembered the Gran Cenote. They had explored it a few days ago. If they could find it now, they'd only need to swim about 300 feet to get out. But to reach it, they had to cross a 70-foot stretch with no safety line. Kent acted fast. He clipped a line to the end of the Paso section. Then he started swimming toward where he thought the Grand Line should be, but the line ran out. He didn't make it to the other side. When he turned back, the other 3 were gone. They'd already pushed ahead. Kent panicked and swam after them. And from that moment on, the real survival fight began. While Kent was still trying to reach Grand, Michael checked his gauge. His air pressure was dropping fast. He turned back immediately. Jean and Bill understood too. If they didn't leave now, they wouldn't leave at all. They glanced back at Kent, then turned around. They chose the only path they were sure of, the way back to Kalimba. But the distance was brutal. After 25 minutes of tense swimming, they finally found the main line to Kalimba. Just 30 more minutes of swimming, and they'd be at the surface. Bill checked his gauge, only 200 psi left. Every breath felt like stone pressing against his chest. He swam over to Jean. She handed him her emergency regulator. They started air sharing. Bill had to hold his breath. He waited as Jean squeezed through the tight gaps ahead. With decades of experience, they knew what to do. Move slowly, stay calm, control every breath, save every drop of air. Up ahead, Michael was nearly out of strength. His tank was empty. He gasped for any remaining air. He saw Bill and Jean swimming past, sharing air, but he had no way to call for help. Then a light. Kent appeared from behind. He rushed over and handed Michael his emergency regulator. Michael clamped down on it, barely holding on. Kent steadied him, told him to slow down, breathe easy, stay calm. They pushed forward together, following the Kalimba line, their last hope that the air would last all the way to the surface. 30 minutes passed, still no sign of Team 2. Team 1 knew something was wrong. They grabbed their gear, got ready to go back in. Then, bubbles, breaking the surface. 2 people shot up, gasping like they'd just come back to life. It was Jean and Bill. They grabbed each other, overwhelmed. When they checked their tanks, they froze. Only 500 psi left, just minutes from death. If they had waited for Kent back at the Paso line, they wouldn't have made it. They survived, but it didn't feel like victory. The water went still again. No more bubbles, no sign of Kent, no sign of Michael. The guide and a few divers rushed back in. They swam deep into the cave, hearts pounding. Then a light, still, unmoving. Kent and Michael were gone. They had drowned, at just 75 feet deep, barely 5 minutes from the surface. The shock hit like a punch to the chest. No one said a word. Bill and Jean later explained what happened. At first, everything went smoothly. All 4 followed the main guideline exactly as planned. They finished the Kalimba section, then moved on to the Paso del Lagro connector. That stretch took about 3 minutes. Then they switched over to the Bosch Chen line. Michael checked his pressure. They pulled their cookie at Bosch Chen. Then they started heading back toward the Paso del Lagro line. But when they reached the main Paso line, something went wrong. For some reason, they turned left. They should have turned right. The cookie was right there, clear. But no one stopped to check. No one questioned it. They just kept going, not knowing they were swimming straight into a dead end. Jean's experience kept her calm, and that's what saved both her and Bill. Michael, with less experience, panicked. He lost control. The biggest mistake, they didn't place personal cookies. They trusted the shared markers and stopped checking the path for themselves. The biggest lesson: stay calm even when it feels hopeless. So ask yourself, if you had just minutes of air left, would you stay calm? Would you take responsibility for every move, every breath? What would you do? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to hit follow. We've got more terrifying survival stories coming.